I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we still continue to stand. We have with us tonight the Honorable Pastor Johnny Harrison from the Spring Hill Missionary Baptist Church coming to lead us in the prayer.
Let us pray.
Amen.
All-knowing and wise God, we know that your thoughts are not our thoughts, and your ways are not our ways. For the heavens are higher than the earth, and so that your ways are higher than our ways, and your thoughts are higher than our thoughts. But we ask, Lord, that you reveal to us your thoughts throughout this meeting, and let our ways be aligned with your ways throughout this meeting. We ask your blessings on the people who have been called to lead the community and the city in which we live. Lord, we pray for wisdom on the mayor, the city council, the police chief, fire workers, EMS workers, and all leaders in this community. I pray that they make wise and godly decisions which are always in the best interest of the community. Help them as leaders not to ask that how do we fix this, but what do we need to do to learn? How might we need to change? And to whom do we need to listen? Remind them that no matter where we live, everyone here, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, we are all neighbors. Our leaders have been called to respect and protect and to lead those among our children, our elderly, our poor, those who are hungry, those who have no homes, those who are in mind, body, and spirit, and those who are forgotten. Grant them and us the wisdom and courage to know and to do what is right and good and true. May they speak out when it's time to speak out and listen patiently, respectively, and when it's time to listen. May they be guided by the spirit of the community, the spirit of justice, and the spirit of love. Bless us now, Father. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Roll call, please.
Mayor Wimberly.
Here.
Councilwoman Wiley. Present. Councilwoman Washington. Present. Councilman Shaw.
Here.
Councilwoman Howard. Here. Councilman Williams.
Here.
And Councilman Chisholm.
Here.
We have 7 present tonight, and we do have a quorum.
Approval of the agenda.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Support.
With item A being omitted from the agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Motion carries. All right, going right into presentations. On National Women's Build Day, Habitat for Humanity. Come on down, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
Good evening, honorable individuals.
Speaking to the mic for us, sir, too.
Good evening, honorable individuals. Mayor, welcome to the city of Inkster as our mayor. We appreciate your brisk leadership from Habitat for Humanity, the interaction that you've had with our CEO in handling issues that have been ongoing. Excuse me, my voice is just a little raspy, but have been ongoing. And the CEO sends her regards because she couldn't be here, but as the operations director, I wanted to just come speak to some issues that you may be aware of, but we just want to make sure that some form of vote comes to order so that on a few of the homes that we have on Bayham, I believe it is.
Well, let me just say point of order.
Sure.
That's not this discussion tonight.
Very well,
so
very
you can
well.
bring that to us and actually put that
Sure
in writing
thing.
to my office. You're here to talk about the National Women's Build Day.
Bill.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, as you know, we've Habitat for Humanity Western Wayne County is a affiliate that's recognized. We've been with Jimmy Carter on his builds at least on 3 occasions, of which one of our first builds here in the city of Inkster was with the former President Carter, and we're just glad to be back in the city of Inkster to partner with you and the council to assure that individuals have access to affordable housing. On March the 4th, we will be having the National Women's Build here in Western Wayne County. It will be here in Inkster. And so it's one of the things where in every state in America, in every country in the world internationally, we will be partnering with women. So if you're a woman and you want to come build with Habitat for Humanity, you're welcome to come do that. Whether you just come in and sweep, clean the lawn, paint, or we can get you some advanced building. But we're here to offer a open arms to the council members and to the mayor, to the judges, and to other city officials. Hopefully I'm not leaving anyone out. To come partner with us in this event, because not only do we feel like it's a big event, we usually have the news channels, at least 3 are going to be there. And so we just want to make sure that we're partnering. And I really appreciate you appointing a liaison. I think it's Miss Jennifer Williams, who will be working with us directly so that we can work with the city hand in hand so that she can be the city's person of contact, and then we can have direct access to your office. And we know that we can't talk to you every day, but we like the access, and we like the fact that we have the liaison to foster that communication between our office and yours.
Yeah. Is it my understanding that one of the first homes that was built by Habitat for Humanity actually was in Inkster?
Yes, so the Western Wayne County is an affiliate, and so we're over 19 cities this side of Telegraph. And the very first home, as I stated before, was with Jimmy Carter in the city of Inkster. And so we look forward to building that relationship and that partnership back so that we can begin to give our... I am a member of the city of Inkster. I have a house here. And so to give back to our city so that affordable housing can be accessible and readily available to those who have that need.
Awesome. Any questions from council?
Yes.
Please,
This house
Councilwoman.
that is in the city of Inkster.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have the address of that? Because it would be something that we would like to add to our historical society
Oh, wow.
or something like
Definitely,
that.
and
They should be able to, and it can possibly be part of this tour, I understand.
That's a great idea.
For the
So-
city of Inkster.
Great idea.
I believe it's 26130 Dunning. And that is also the house. That is also the house that we'll be working, where we will be working. And so we look forward to having the individuals come in. We had some issues with that particular house with a family who had to vacate the premises, so we got it back on foreclosure. But we're recycling it back into our the system so that other families in Inkster who need affordable housing can do that. And that's why I guess we'll have to come on schedule for our next request. And you said that it's not the time to.
Yeah.
You have partners within this. Are these partners, or do you have resources that might be available to make some sort of signage that indicates what you told us about that house?
Councilwoman, if you tell me to make a sign, I'll make a sign just for you.
Okay, you've been told.
So we'll make sure that a sign is readily available so that
Seriously.
we can see the home, and then so that people can identify the home as you go by.
Do
so
a little
that
bit
you
of
know.
more research, though. I don't know if that was the first Habitat house on
That-
Dunning. I don't know if that's the address.
The actual address may not actually be the address.
Gotcha.
The actual address that I gave, and I apologize if I
That's okay.
misconstrued the information.
That's okay.
The actual address that I'm giving is the address where we're going to be doing the work for the women's bill.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if I misconstrued that, I apologize to everyone.
Yes, sir. Hold on one second. Ma'am, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Did
Oh,
you
no,
have anything
that's
else?
fine. No, I just want to make sure whatever that house is, we know what it is, and we can add it to our list of historical sites here in the city of Inkster.
Great idea. Thank you. Councilman. Yes,
So
sir.
quickly, what's going to be the time, the date?
So we usually open at 8:30. We start signing in and giving the safety brief at 9 o'clock. Individuals who come will have to have a volunteer form filled out and a workflow form filled out that covers liability. And then we go over the safety rules. At about 9:15, 9:30, we start, and from there we go to about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
What date is this women's bill?
March the 4th.
That's all.
Any other questions? Don, I saw you with your hand raised. Did you have something?
Councilwoman asked my question, sir. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Sir, thank you so very
Thank
much
you
for
very
coming.
much for
Please
your time.
extend thank you to Mrs. Dent for getting us back involved
Thank you. We look
and
forward
not
to working with
overlooking
the city
us.
of Inkster.
All right, good then. We're looking forward to the relationship as well. All right, one of my favorite people, Officer Lebo.
How's it going, everybody?
Hi.
I'm gonna grab this because y'all know I can't stand still. This still works, right?
Yep. I'm working on that now. What about the light right above it? Is it? Oh, okay. That's cool. Thank you.
Okay. How's it going, everybody? Good to see everybody, mayor, council, citizens. So I am here tonight to give a presentation about our recent partnership with Ring and the Neighbors Portal. Wanted to be available to explain the program, answer any questions or concerns anyone might have, and really just announce this exciting pilot program that we're running. So many of you might be familiar with Ring. It's not just the doorbells. Ring has other surveillance cameras as well, but more often it's associated with the Ring doorbell camera that you can put on the front of your house. Picks up motion in front of your house when anybody walks by. It's since expanded to surveillance cameras that you can put around your house. It creates a whole network. Well, Ring has started this program where they partner with the police department. I'm going to give a quick rundown of the Neighbors application because if you don't understand the Neighbors application, you're not going to understand our involvement with it. So the Neighbors application is free to download. You do not need to have a Ring device to actually have it. And by application, I mean on your phone. It's something you can put on any smartphone that you have. And it can be downloaded on any smartphone. If you go into your Play Store or your Apple Store, whatever it is, this is the icon. You just type in Neighbors, and it's Neighbors by Ring. The entire point of the Neighbors application is to stay informed. You get real-time information about what's going on in your community, crime and safety alerts from users within a radius of up to 5 miles from your home. You can post and share important crime and safety information falling into the following 5 categories: criminal activity, suspicious activity, unknown visitors, safety, and lost pet. You can provide updates and inform your neighbors when an incident has been resolved. It's really about sharing information. In today's connected world, the more you know, the better. And people like to post things on there. You can connect with your neighbors by viewing and commenting on videos, photos, and text-based posts shared by local users through their neighbors, the Neighbors app feed, pardon me. And you can also customize what alerts you receive and how often. So it's very user-friendly. But what Ring stresses is, and you'll hear this many times in this presentation, they put privacy first. You can choose what content to share and control how you want to engage with other users. The Neighbors app was designed to keep users in control of their private information. You put out there what you want to put out there. It's free and accessible. Smartphone users in the United States can join the conversation by downloading Neighbors for iOS, Neighbors for Android, or Neighbors for Fire OS. And you do not have to own a Ring. Anybody can use it. If you don't have a Ring device, you can upload photos. Like if I took a picture right here, I can say, we're at the council meeting, and post it. It would get filtered out because it doesn't fall into that 5 categories. But the point is, you can use your own photos. If you have like Xfinity security cameras, you can upload that feed onto the Neighbors feed. It doesn't have to be Ring related. It's all connected. You can also just use plain text if you want to type something. Say, I saw a black dog running down the street earlier today. This is anybody's dog. You don't have to have anything if you don't want to. I'm actually going to, this is a quick video. It's a screen grab of me using the Neighbors app to give you a better explanation. I'm a visual person, and I think a lot of people tend to be as well. So this is kind of a rundown of Neighbors, the nitty-gritty. It's going to work. Prepared for this eventuality. Roy. Or not. Hey, Troy, you said you had a backup? It's not working on the media player. Doesn't recognize this file format. QuickTime doesn't either. I'm sorry, everybody. It's on. Okay. All right, so just download the Neighbors app. It's really, really easy to use. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you have any questions, come find me, please. And actually what I'll probably do is I'm going to upload this video onto the department's Facebook feed. So that way, if you want to watch it, you're welcome to do so that way. We live in a technological world. So that was the quick rundown of the Neighbors portal. Now I'm going to discuss how Inkster Police ties into the Neighbors portal and our use of the law enforcement portal, as they call it. So local police use the Neighbors app to share important crime and safety information with residents and work with their communities to make neighborhoods safer by opening lines of communication between local police and the community. We believe when communities and law enforcement work together, safer neighborhoods can become a reality. Just to give you an idea, this picture on the left is the United States. That's how many neighborhoods have signed on to this portal. It's not just us, it's a lot of people. The picture on the right is actually the Metro Detroit area. Inkster is circled here in red. Some other communities that are on board include Dearborn, Livonia, Redford, Detroit, and now us. It allows us to connect with the community through clearly identified posts as the Inkster police officers view and comment on your posts within Inkster to connect with and help the community. Just to give you an example, this is something that was on the Neighbors feed. So a Inkster resident posted about an individual checking cars. They were walking down the street pulling door handles. So this is a video, but obviously it's a screen grab. On the right, it shows you where it was shown. It was a part of the video, but if you see the little circle within the picture of the map, when you make a post, it's important to understand that your location is not given out. It is given a radius, that this video was posted within this radius. Your neighbors can't tell that you live at, 1000 Avondale. It says specifically within this video, this is where this person had posted it. So we also don't know that information. We don't know where the video was posted from. We don't know who posted it because your name comes up as like neighbor 8. Every time you post, you're given a different username. It's all about your privacy. So we don't know what you're posting. So we have to find that information. So now that we are signed up, I can sign on as myself, and I made a comment. Hello, this is Officer Lebo at the Inkster Police Department. I would like to find more information on the location of this video was taken and use it for our investigation. Not even 2 minutes after this posted it, I got a phone call, and it was the resident. I asked permission. I said, may I use this video? I put it out there on social media, on Facebook. The news actually picked up that post as well. It was on Channel 7. Not sure if you caught that. But it's allowing us to build information on these individuals that are breaking into people's cars. So it's one way to communicate. Found out the location of it with her permission, we got the video. Another way in which it allows us to communicate is that we can make posts. Before, I've actually been a part of Neighbors for a year or so, and I would post as whatever random neighbor, but I would identify myself as Officer Lebo with Inkster Police. Now we can make posts ourselves. So I made a post not that long ago about a stranger danger incident, and it comes up as Inkster PD, and I can put in there whatever I want. Now, just like you can't tell we can't tell where you post, it doesn't show the exact intersection where I am posting, so I make sure to include that the stranger danger incident occurred in the area of Birchman Division. So on the little map, it circles that area, and it comes up as a safety alert. And these little bubbles that you see with like crime, suspicious, there's other lost pet ones, those are the things that's classified. When you're in the app, you click on the crime, suspicion, and it pulls it up, the narrative about it. So the law enforcement portal, users have the option to provide helpful information if the Inkster Police ask for assistance with an investigation. This part is pretty exciting, but it's what most people have the most questions about. So users can choose to share videos with us or opt out future requests. So you may use the Neighbors portal as much as you want, but we have plenty of Ring users that don't use the Neighbors portal. They don't put their videos out there, but obviously their videos can be important to us, important to our investigations. You wouldn't believe what a Neighbors video can catch. We actually had a serious situation that happened last year that was solved with the Neighbors Ring video. And it wasn't anything overt. The crime didn't occur on that, but we were able to backtrack a vehicle through people's videos. So it's important to understand that. So what this allows us to do is if we're in the middle of an active investigation, we can make a video request. And it's within a specified time frame in a specified area. We don't know who has a Ring video camera. We send a request to Ring. Ring sends an email to the people within a geographic location whose cameras are on and operational. It says, hey, Inkster Police is requesting some video. You can ignore the request, or you can send us your video, whatever you might want to do. We don't even know who receives these requests. So it's important to be clear, we don't have access to your cameras. We don't know who has cameras. They send us the video that you want to receive. Looks kind of like this. This is actually my video request that I put out for the people walking down the street pulling on door handles. Obviously, I'm trying to figure out where these people are coming from. So I go into the Neighbors portal. This geographic area that's in yellow, we have a half-mile square radius, half-mile radius. We can pull it and put it wherever we want. We only have a half mile, and we put out a request to all the videos within that area to please share your videos. Nobody has yet, but we've actually had some successful ones through other requests that I've made. This is like my 6th or 7th. So you get an email, you determine whether or not you want to send it to us. This is just what that looks like. I want to be as transparent as possible. And then it comes up and it says you have one video to view. And it will show the video, and we can look at it and determine whether or not it's important to our investigation. This is actually the email you'll receive. It's from Ring, says, Dear Inkster, that's what it comes back to me, this is just a video. When I put out the video, it tells us that we're looking for video from this particular instance, February 10th, from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. on February 11th. And then I put in a personal message, hey, this is Officer Lebo with Inkster Police. We're requesting any video footage in your area in response to report of multiple individuals walking down the street, checking for unlocked vehicles. Have any questions? Call me. I always put my cell phone number on there. I want people to be able to talk to me. Again, we're going to go over some of the privacy aspects so you understand. It's been designed to ensure that no user information is shared with local police unless the users choose to do so, including whether or not they even received the request. There's no access to devices. We are never given access to your cameras through the Neighbors portal or by Ring. We can't even search warrant it. There's no user account information. You're identified only as neighbor, number, whatever that number is. Law enforcement knows that if you're posting, you live in the city of Inkster. That's all that we know. We don't know where the actual cameras are. We just know that there may be cameras in the city. When we put out a wide net, we're just hoping there's cameras that fall within that location. There's no direct access to the users when making the video requests. We have to go through Ring, and then Ring sends the email for us. We don't know who those emails are going. If you decide to share the video with us, just know that your email address and your address that you provided with Ring is shared with us at that point in time, but that's only when you decide to share the videos with us. and we will get the street address and email. Oh, I already explained that. When you send the video, that's when we get the information. Any questions?
Does the technology affect the safety statistics for the police department?
Well, so this is a brand new program, so that's a great question to ask in a few months and see how it impacts our investigations. Ring videos have already successfully closed several cases, so I would say it is going to help. And there are people that are not going to decide. You can actually see in some of these videos when these people are going down the street pulling video, they'll go to walk up to a car who's got Ring video, and then they go right back. They decide, well, that might be a little bit too close to that camera. So. Anybody else?
Officer Lebo.
And Facebook will have access to some of this. Is that, have you heard that?
I have not. When I went through all the training through Ring, I didn't hear anything about Google having access to it. It's probably just like anything else. Ring is based in California, and their privacy are pretty strict. They don't even give MSP access to this because they don't understand why Highway Patrol needs it.
Yes, Mr. Chair,
Yes, please.
I wanted to ask a question.
Question, please.
In order for Ring to work, do a resident have to have internet, or if they get a Ring and they don't have internet, would it still work, or?
So basically, no, because the Ring device in itself will connect to that. There's two things you can do with the Ring device. You can install a Ring device and only get live footage on your phone. But in order to actually get those videos stored and have communication, you do have to buy the yearly plan. It's $30 a year. So if you pay that, and I would highly encourage you to pay that because you can only do so much with live view.
Okay.
I mean, once that happens, the event is done. You can't go back and look at it if you don't pay the $30 a year.
Okay.
Okay?
So,
Question, Councilwoman Wiley?
Yes.
my question pertains to you giving us all this information about how to utilize it. Is there any training provided for people who might want to get involved? But we've had a big problem with technology in our, everybody doesn't want to, we got secret fix, we got this, we got that, we got the other, and no one's using that. So, and I think it's because they're uncomfortable with the process.
Okay. So the question is, if for individuals who might not be so comfortable with technology, is there training in order to learn how to use it? I will happily have training seminars. I will happily sit down with anybody one-on-one that needs a little bit of assistance on how to work it. You all have my number, and if you don't know how to find it, you should be able to. Please call me. I will happily do that. I can do something at the Dozer if you guys would want a Ring video seminar, how to use it, what to do with it. I got no problem with that.
Sounds great.
Anybody else? And just so you know, this entire presentation is printed out. It is on the little gondola thing over there with the slides, in case you have anything. My cell phone number is on there. Call me, please, if anyone thinks of anything or if you have any questions. I'm actually working on trying to get Ring to do some promotional pricing for us signing on board with this. We're in the process. I'm hoping we can get a discount for Inkster residents. But as of right now, you can get a Ring camera starting at $100 on up, depending on which level you want. A yearly fee of $30. Yep.
Any other questions? Hearing none. Thank you, Officer Lebo.
Thank you.
All right. Neil, if you could please speak to the lawsuit information as it relates to Gardner.
Yes, I'd be happy to. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Neil Piak, and I'm an assistant attorney for Inkster. I work very closely with the city attorney, David Jones, on a number of matters. Including one case I'd like to talk to you about tonight, in particular, captioned Garner Properties Management versus the city of Inkster. And some of you have been getting some mailings right around this week or last week pertaining to this case. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background about the case and let you know a little more detail what the are that you might be receiving. The plaintiff sued the city of Inkster and McKenna, who had the building department contract previously, alleging there were some flaws in the process by which the city would collect fees and then schedule and inspect properties. So if you went to apply for permits or certificates of occupancy or certificate of compliances for your homes and businesses, as I'm sure many of you had to do, they were alleging that was a flawed process. The city denies, vehemently that they did anything wrong, but as cases often do, the parties reached a settlement last fall. It's been several months. Council was kind enough to agree, along with McKenna, to set up a settlement fund for which people who fall within the definition of the class can submit a claim, get some form of payment. In essence, about 4,000 people in the class. Just a couple weeks ago, the federal court downtown, where this case is pending, approved preliminarily the terms of the class settlement. The court has reviewed and authorized the issuance of the notice, that language of the notice that a lot of you have been receiving in the mail. And if you receive one of these notices, you have a couple options, and a lot of this is listed right on the notice itself. But if you fall within the class, meaning between the dates of December 7th, 2014 and January 17th, 2020, you've registered a rental property, a residential rental property in the city of Inkster, you can submit a claim to get some form of reimbursement as part of the class. And in order to do that, there's 3 steps on the mailing that you got in the mail. You've got to provide your current contact information. You have to verify that you've had registered rental property in the city of Inkster between December 7th, 2014 and January 17th, 2020. And you have to return the proof of claim no later than April 14th, 2020. You also have the option to do nothing. If you do nothing, you'll simply be bound by whatever the final judgment of the case is. You also have the right to opt out of the settlement. If you don't like what's being offered to you, you have the right to opt out. And if you want to file your own claim or pursue your own litigation with your own lawyer at your own cost, that is an option to you as well. Or if you think the terms of the settlement are unfair, you have the right to object, and you have the right to attend what's called a fairness hearing, which is scheduled for July 9th, 2020 at 2:30 p.m. At the Federal Courthouse downtown, room 717. So that's just a little overview and explanation of why some of you might be getting these notices in the mail, and what it's about and what your options are. I just encourage you to read the notice carefully if you get one, and I believe it directs you, if you have questions, to contact the plaintiff's counsel, the class counsel in this case, who is Aaron Cox and Mark Lasverly, and their names and contact information appear on the notice. Council or Mr. Mayor, if you have any other questions I can address on the topic, I'd be happy.
Darren, if you could just speak to what that means as it relates to the class action lawsuit and the monies that the city may have to pay out.
And Neil can kind of make sure I'm stating this correctly. I know there's, I believe, the 2 named plaintiffs. We agreed to a settlement. I believe it was $5,000 each with those plaintiffs, Neil. And so the city voted to accept those terms. That was back in 2019.
Correct.
So it's $10,000 that was approved last year, and $5,000 goes to each of the 2 named defendants. Those monies will be coming out of the building department, since this action is related to charges associated with the permits and licenses up under the building department. And then claims, likewise, that are made and monies that the city has to pay for, those claims would be coming out of the building fund as well. I think that was the proposal that was presented and accepted on behalf of the city.
Correct. Up to $100,000 on behalf. The city has no greater exposure than refunding $100,000 out of the building fund surplus. And McKenna kicked in an additional $30,000 of their money for a total class settlement fund of $130,000. But correct me if I'm wrong, those monies aren't coming out of the general fund. They're basically being refunded from the building department.
Which is, it is a general fund, but it's a restricted component of the general fund, yeah.
Any other questions?
Questions? So what was McKenna and Associates, what did they do again?
Well, the allegations were simply that the process that the city and Hannah were following with regards to the inspections were unconstitutional.
It was unconstitutional.
Yes, they were claiming that there were Fourth Amendment violations, which are search and seizure violations, for the way the city would, inspect or require properties to be inspected as part of the permitting process.
So McKenna and Associates went into these homes to inspect these homes, but they wasn't allowed to enter into these homes?
So in practice, that never actually happened as far as we know. And again, the city denies the allegations, but the allegations specifically were, one, that portion of the International Property Maintenance Code that the city adopted itself was unconstitutional. That was one of their arguments. And then another argument was, the city and the inspectors were conducting warrantless searches of residential properties and failing to provide proper notice and meaningful opportunity to be heard under the administrative code. So those are the allegations, and we denied them. In practice, people schedule these inspections at a mutually convenient time and place. There's no one barging into people's houses, to look at their, pipes or anything like that. That's why, the city defended and litigated, against this case very much. We disagree with the allegations, and it was decided because of the potential of exposure in a class case that it was in the best interest of the city to settle for the amount we did.
Well, you settled for two.
I'm sorry?
You settled for two in the claims?
As part of the class lawsuit, there were multiple defendants. The two primary defendants were the City of Inkster and McKenna. McKenna contributed $30,000. The city contributed $100,000 to the settlement pool. That's how it panned out.
And let's be clear that this Inkster wasn't the only one. You want to speak to that, Mayor Pro Tem?
You can.
I mean, I'm just getting the information, so.
Oh, okay.
You were here and made the decision, so you want to speak to it?
The company that's suing Inkster, we're not the only municipality that they have done this to. So I'm not sure if they're going into the city ordinance to find a glitch, but we definitely not the only ones that have been sued on this issue.
Correct. This same plaintiff's law firm has brought the same or similar allegations in cities all around southeastern Louisiana.
So, Mr. Chair.
Please, sir.
Now, when they cited these ordinances, what are we doing to rectify so that we won't go back to this again? Are we doing anything from the...
I believe you guys actually changed the ordinance.
We changed the ordinance.
That was something that they did at the time.
Yeah, we
right.
changed the ordinance.
Mm-hmm.
And additionally, people are giving notice of their right to appeal if they're unhappy with the
On the letter that the city sent.
inspector or the building department as part of the settlement process. that we've agreed to.
And this was filed in what year?
2014.
I want to say, I'm sorry, it was filed in 2017.
Oh, 2017.
Yep. It was litigated for fully 2 years, and we reached a settlement.
Now, you did speak to 2014 at first. What was that?
Well, that's the outer boundary of the class. So
Gotcha.
so they look back. The statute of
Understood.
limitations in this case was 3 years.
Gotcha.
So they could go back 3 years from the date
So
they filed the
They
complaint.
filed in 2017, but could go back to 2014. I understand.
Correct. In fact, they filed December 7th, 2017.
Okay. Did you have a statement, sir? Please stand.
I
Speak.
had a question. My question was, I've seen like in the city of Pontiac here in Inkster with companies like McKinney, is there an evaluative process that we use as the city to evaluate that corporation as a private contractor within the building department? And then if so, where are we with that evaluation? And have they scored high or low? Is that something that we as city members have
Yeah, and that's something that we're just getting started with that. And the McKenna, well, that's not McKenna anymore, it's actually Buccelli Group. They decided to a mutual split because questions like that were asked, and we're starting to look at the actual work that they're doing and doing measurables to make sure that things are being done in a way, of course, that's fair across the board and with quality of service to the people in our community that essentially are our customers. So we're definitely looking at having something like that as we move forward. Tonight, we're actually looking at the Buccelli contract and separating from the Buccelli contract, and then we'll be coming back before this body with our next step as it relates to what we're doing as it relates to the building department. But evaluations will definitely be done in-house. Any other questions? Ma'am? What you're supposed to, in order of decency, stand for me, at least speak up, and go ahead. Speak to that. Thank you.
Sure. Again, $130,000 in total settlement money, $30,000 of which were paid by McKenna, $100,000 of which are being provided by the city from the restricted funds that are in surplus in the building department, or from the building department.
And let me just restate again, and just so we're clear, that this particular company has targeted our community along with other communities.
The law firm.
The law firm Gardner, right?
Correct.
Am I saying that correctly?
Well, Gardner is a property owner,
and then
a large property owner.
With the law firm.
And their law firm, Aaron Cox.
Gotcha.
They're in partnership. And
right. So, yeah.
So, Mr. Chair.
Sir.
Now, with the changing of the ordinance, this will allow the city to be somewhat protected so that this
don't happen again. Correct. And the previous administration did do that. Okay. Ma'am, please.
I just think that we should be aware anybody can sue.
That's
for
right.
anything.
That's right.
It's your job to defend it or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I am aware of Garner, and I'm sure you all have seen his property signs and things like that in the community, and we have had difficulty with him doing things that benefit the city. So you should be aware that a lot of things happen that these people do because we're easy prey. Cities are easy prey because you'll pay nuisance money. You know, just because it'll cost you so much in the long run to deal with the attorneys, you know, they charge it, and it's going on and on. And our job is to make sure that we don't spend your money recklessly.
That's right.
And as he told you, this money is coming out of general funds, so that means nothing on your taxes. But a lot of, Oh, the building fund, I'm sorry.
But just for clarity, it is within the general fund, but they are restricted funds only for building department related expenses.
Just making sure that they're not scared that something's going to show up that says Garner on their tax.
No, exactly.
Okay.
The city's essentially refunding application fees to a certain extent.
Gotcha. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, let's move along. Consent agreement? I'm sorry, consent agenda. I apologize.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Been moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Boards and commissions going around. Councilwoman Washington, you want to start us off? None for you tonight. Councilman Chisholm? Sir? You do have a reappointment if you want.
Wani Avenue Mitchell to the Parks and Rec Commission. Her term expires on the 19th, and she would like to be reappointed. I did speak with her.
So move, Mr. Chair.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Any others, sir?
Nope.
Councilwoman Wiley?
I don't have one per se. I just want to know if we're going to fill these that have been vacant for some time.
Definitely
now,
working
tonight.
Definitely working on those for sure. You're talking about the
Fields and that, yeah, planning
Mm-hmm.
and Inkster housing. Because they're saying because of all the things they have to do.
Quorums and things of that
they need
nature.
That body.
correct.
Also, I would like to say that we do not include any of the people who have put in an application but have not put in their bio.
Say one more
Because
time.
that's part of, that we do not include any of those people who have put in an application but have not put in a bio or a resume, because that's part of the application process. That's the only way we have to know that these people are qualified, and that was one of the purposes of rewriting the ordinance. Yeah, or if it's not on file up.
Is that an actual ordinance? Or is it something that's just a decorum of this body?
Mr. Mayor, that was for new people. That was for new people. If it's reappointment and they're already on file, they don't have to turn that application. It was stated that if they're new people, give us a background. Okay,
That's right.
who they are.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure, is that an actual ordinance, or that's just for just respect of this body?
It was suggested by Ms. Watley,
No, it's in the ordinance.
Councilwoman Watley,
On the application.
a couple of years ago, and the way it was stated that new people
They want to serve,
put in an application.
yeah.
Okay, if they already been getting ready to be reappointed, they already on file, so they didn't have to go through that.
Right. It's not an
Okay,
ordinance.
I'm going to continue, all right?
Okay, yeah.
It was never stated that if you had something on file already, of course we would utilize that. But those new people that were coming into boards and commissions, it says right on the bottom of the application to provide this information.
Yeah, I get you. Just want to make sure that we're clear, and that's something that we need to look at, City Clerk, if you can, if that's part of the ordinance or if it's part of this, the quorum of this operating body in respect to it. So let's just make sure that it's just a decorum of the operating body, it's not an ordinance. So let's just be clear that we're doing that in respect for one another as we appoint people, that we want to make sure that we have qualified people and that we've all had a chance to kind of weigh in and actually look at that person's background. So I get it. But that's something that we don't necessarily have to do. But with respect for this body, we want to do that. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's just respect for this body, not an ordinance. I just want to be clear with that. All right, then moving right along. Did you have anything else, Councilwoman Wiley? All right. Mayor Pro Tem Kim Howard?
Yes, I'd like to put on the, Ruth Williams be added to the Election Commission. Nominate, yeah. We have information. I'd like to nominate Ruth Williams to the Election Commission.
Been moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
Abstain.
Let's have a roll call on that, please.
Councilwoman Wiley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Washington? Councilman Shaw?
Yes.
Councilwoman Howard?
Yes.
Councilman Williams has abstained. And Councilman Chisholm.
Yes.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 5.
All right. Good. So Ms. Williams, she's here tonight. She's been appointed or reappointed?
She's been appointed.
Appointed. Okay, good then. So is this something that she needs to do?
I will contact her.
All right, perfect then. All right, good. Moving right along. Did you have anything else? Mayor Pro Tem?
Oh, no, that was it.
Okay. Councilman Shaw?
I just wanted to know what boards and commissions that a council person can't serve on, or they can serve on all of these boards and commissions that you know of?
Neil, you got the answer to that? What was the question?
What boards and commissions that a council person can't? I know, we don't even have a mic, D.
You got to move up. Yeah, the way that we have some new technology going on up here. We're trying to get,
I just
they're like right here in front of us. You got to kind of.
I just want to know what boards and commissions a council person cannot serve on, or can be served on all of them.
I do not know the answer off the top of my head, but I'd be happy to follow up.
That's all I need to.
I'll ask for volunteers for that. All right, sir.
That's all.
All right, thank you. Councilman Williams.
I don't have no more appointments tonight.
You don't have an appointment tonight? Okay,
No.
good. All right, then, so as it relates to the Planning Commission, I would like to appoint Tanya Williams to the Planning Commission. She's actually here in the audience tonight, and she was our director for, I'm sorry, it's been moved and supported, discussion. I apologize, thank you. Appreciate you keeping me in line. Tanya Williams actually has served as our chairperson for the Parks and Rec Commission for the last, 4 or 5 years, Tanya? 10 years? 10 years. Stand up, please, so people can see you. You good? Yeah, good. So she'll be my appointment to the Planning Commission so we can have a quorum. And the meeting is tomorrow, so all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it, motion carries. Now, as it relates to the Housing Commission, I know that we have been talking as a body about actually doing an interview process for those individuals that want to serve on housing, just because of how the public and everything surrounding housing is really touchy right now. We had a really good meeting. I believe it was our first step with the Housing Commission last Monday. So I would like for us to move forward as quickly as possible of appointing a housing person, knowing that it is the mayor's appointment. I understand that, but I think that it's very important for us in this particular position that we bring those people before us and then we kind of vet them from there. Now, if you don't want to do that, I do have a nomination tonight, but it's totally up to you because the commission has asked for me to appoint someone as quickly as possible so they can start to handle some of the business that they need to handle. And my appointment tonight would be Will Miller. So it's up to you guys what you want to do. I can keep my word is my bond. I try to keep it. So it's up to you guys, but I know that, you were at the meeting and they asked us to appoint somebody. So what are you guys thinking?
I support it.
All right, it's been moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, ayes have it, motion carried. All right, Will. All right, moving right along. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that, sir. Please.
I have a question. With
Please, sir.
regards to the planning commission, we had 2 vacancies.
Yes, sir.
And so I know back in January when I first, brought up the vacancies, you mentioned at the next meeting you would appoint. We're about a month out now, so we still have 1 vacancy.
Speak up a little bit, Steve. I'm sorry. Troy, I'm going to.
Well, no, the computer is
Troy.
away.
It's right here.
Troy, you may got to give us a training or something, buddy.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. You have to sit up.
We need a training. What do we need to do? Just sit?
Just gotta sit.
When we
Gotta
go
sit
to the,
forward.
that's what we need to
Hurt
do.
my back the rest of my life.
I have a wheelchair for you, too.
I think you ought to buy us
Okay.
bullhorns.
All right. I'm sorry.
Just bullhorns.
Yeah, that's what we need. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Councilman.
I was just wondering.
With regards to the planning commission, because we did have 2 vacancies.
Yes, sir.
And so I know you've appointed 1 person, we voted on that person. Are we holding off on any of the others that were in the pipeline, or?
Yeah, I just think that, Councilman, and I know you're the chair of the Planning Commission, and it's very important for me as we really start to create our relationship together moving forward, that we have like-minded individuals that we're working together with, but also to have those qualifications that's really going to help us move to the next level as it relates to building our community. So I'll be vetting a couple of more people. The people that's actually on the list, I'm actually waiting for a couple of phone calls from people. So Councilwoman Watley, I think she's carrying that message for me, and then we'll go from there. I know we talked about that last council meeting. You asked me why I hadn't appointed certain individuals. I said that they can give me a call, and then we can talk from there because it is the mayor's appointment. So saying that, we'll move forward unless you have another question. All right, then. So pass that message along. All right. All right, so do we have anything else on that? No? All right, what do we have? Oh, Nankin Transit. So Nankin Transit, I need a volunteer from the council. Does anybody want to serve as our alternate for Nankin Transit from the council?
What days do they meet?
I think it's on the boards and commissions. Yeah, I don't have my packet.
It's on the boards and commissions, what days they meet?
Yes.
Where's it at? Show me.
It's on the third Thursday of each month at 5:45 p.m.
You came, yeah, I know.
Pardon?
It's just about availability, I understand that. And I know everybody pretty. Councilwoman Wiley?
What?
You think you It's only one Thursday out there. These young people on the end over there, I know they working dual
See,
hats.
I'm really not
I know
able
you.
to commit.
Okay, I got you.
Because if I commit, I want to be there.
Right, I understand.
And I don't see me doing that.
Yeah, would she be the alternate? If so, if I couldn't make it, then she would be.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams. 'cause
Mayor Pro Tem
he's
Williams,
in that
step up here,
capacity.
please. Mayor Pro Tem Williams, step up here, please. So we're all on the same page. So what? Well, he used to be Mayor Pro Tem. He
Always, yeah.
Like we have Councilman Ernie Hendricks in the back there. He ain't down, gonna call him out, but he'll always be there. Go ahead, sir. What was the question for him?
Is he an alternate or how? What was
Well, he was serving, but he was from the council's
I
capacity.
was serving in the council capacity, and then you had Dennis Champagne, who was the city coordinator.
So I could actually do it if that's the case then?
Yeah.
And then we'll just go from there?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to be appointed to that
You the mayor,
Yeah.
still?
Yes.
Okay, you guys want to appoint me to it? How are we going to do
but
it?
it's one of the most easiest meetings that they have, and probably less number
Sounds
than an
good to me, but
hour.
we want to be represented everywhere.
Right, right.
Understand that. We want to be at every table. So if I got to be at every meeting, that's what we're going to do. And we'll make it work, you know. But we're going to figure it out. And Councilwoman Wiley, she says she going to help me out. I just heard her. All right. So, no, I'm just I'm just throwing it out.
You good?
Breaking ice, yeah. All right,
Okay,
then.
so I'd like to appoint Patrick Wimberly to the neck and transfer.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Of course not. Ayes have it. Motion carries. All right, what else we got? Pension board. Yep, I'm holding that. Yep, I'm holding that position right now. I apologize. And I talked to Commissioner Moner. He has a piece of property up on Michigan Avenue that's been an eyesore at the Heatherwood Apartments, and I haven't been wanting to talk about it, but I've been trying to get with him to get that property on our list of demo, and we do have some demo money within the city that we would love to use on that property, but he hasn't agreed as of yet. So I'm not trying to use it as leverage, but at the same time, if a person wants to serve, we got to serve the best interests of the entire community. And the Heatherwood, that place, that building right at the front of Heatherwood apartment is a nuisance, and it's a problem on Michigan Avenue. So yes, you can, please.
On that note you just said about the Harvard building and this and that,
Yeah.
who own it. So can the city of Inkster ticket them that?
We working on all that.
Push them and tell them.
Oh yeah, we doing it. We're doing it. We actually,
We have a
yeah, we have a demolition board and all of that, and they've been before us, and it's in probate right now. That particular property is in probate with the family.
What about the rest of the?
We doing that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We'll actually be coming back to you within the next couple of council meetings, talking about a program that was initiated, and I think it's going to be really, really great for the community as it relates to nuisance abatement. So, at any rate, let's move along. What else we got? So that was the pension board. All right. So previous business. All right. Is it a motion to remove previous business from the table?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Is there support?
Support.
Been moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? Ayes have it, motion carry.
The previous business is consideration and approval for a separation agreement with Buccelli Group for the City of Inkster Building Services to end on March 27th, 2020.
It actually says March 31st, 2020 on here.
On this
Correction.
agreement it says 20, it says 27.
All right, 2020.
So move.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion?
Yes.
Discussion? Oh, wait a minute, hold on one second. It's been moved, it was moved by Mayor Pro Tem Howard and supported by Councilman Shaw. Question, Councilman Chisholm.
I just wanted to say my vote reflects the request request to mutually terminate their contract. I do understand the financial impact on both sides with employing people in-house, union background plus being able.
I just wanted to say my vote reflects their request to mutually terminate their contract. I do understand the financial impact on both sides with employing people in-house, union background plus being able to compare our community to other cities who have the financial capability to do so versus when we contract out. Although there are pros and cons to both, I'm hopeful for a smooth transition.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about that. It will be. Any other discussion as it relates to? Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Oh, sorry. Please.
Briefly on this, I just want to indicate that it's my understanding that this is actually still technically a draft agreement. Former Mayor Nolan has not yet responded or accepted Mr. Jones's most recent set of revisions.
When you say former Mayor Nolan, what does he's the attorney?
I believe he's representing Buccelli.
That's representing the Buccelli group for separation.
Correct. So this, I believe, is technically a draft agreement.
Let's make sure that we're saying it clear. You just said it, so let's make sure we're on record.
No, it is. I mean, David told me before that Mayor Nolan has not yet approved or disapproved the most recent set of changes that David Jones had submitted to him.
Who
prior
is
to
representing? Who is he representing?
Record.
Buccelli.
He's representing the Buccelli.
Correct.
Okay.
Where is that written? I'm sorry.
It was an email. It was an email sent to us regarding all of
Let's make sure it's
that.
clear. It's a whole bunch of, this is unreal. But we got to deal with it. And we're going to deal with it. That's
So
what
should
I'm here
we
to do.
table it again until we hear?
Let me say this. Hold on one second. As it relates to just us moving forward, because what I don't want to do, and that's what I've been holding off of, for us to make a decision as a body to separate, so then I can have my HR department, along with my treasurer, and we formulate a plan moving forward, understanding that this particular function falls under my administration. So if you want to table it again, then we're actually talking about 2 weeks, 2 more weeks, and then you guys are going to be coming to me saying, well, what's the plan? When we moving? I get it, but I want to make sure that we're vetting it properly.
Hey, why are we tabling? What is the reason why we're tabling?
I just heard someone say table.
No,
And the council should or shouldn't
We
do
both agreed on the separation. So now what is the issue now, other than people want to know why?
Let's make sure we stand in order. So, and I think that the attorney is saying that this is a draft,
It's a draft.
right? So, let me make sure, attorney, speaking to you, Neil, directly. If we make a decision on the draft and send it back to Buccelli, which their attorney needs to, in turn, Mayor Nolan needs to look at it and send his comments back, then what happens? I mean, are we saying that it's not an agreement? He may come back with something different than we agreed on, and
Right. So
gotcha.
I see no reason why council couldn't give conditional approval, with the condition that they accept the last round of changes that Attorney Jones had provided. I don't see any problem with that. I just want it known that they haven't accepted those changes yet. So I don't want you to approve a draft unless you're fully aware of that.
That's right.
You want to give a conditional approval, and if they ever not respond, or if they do have further changes, then you can take a look at the proposed changes. Or you can simply table it till we have a final draft.
So let's have the maker of the motion actually just add that, what he just said, as it relates to the condition, and then move forward.
So move.
You got to actually say who actually made it.
Councilwoman Howard was the maker.
Mayor Pro Tem Howard, you were the maker of the motion. Add the conditions to it.
Okay, now with the conditions of,
I have it. What
he said.
The most recent proposed changes by Attorney Jones.
okay, you have that?
Yes.
Okay.
Good. All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
Nay.
Do we need to roll call for the record, or you got the one nay? All right. Motion carries. All right. Moving right along. Let's see here. You got the second reading?
Yes.
All right, do I read this? Or you?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Council to offer a second reading and approval of text amendments TA 18-28 to the city zoning ordinance pertaining to provisions for social clubs per the recommendations of the Planning Commission.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
Not gonna discuss.
Oh, I'm sorry, discussion? I thought you had guys, this is second reading. Apologize.
That's
Discussion?
fine. I just have one question. What I was reading in the packet stated that this was to prevent the onerous burden of them having to collect signatures from the area residents, because that's usually what happens when they want to put something in there. I just want to make sure that these residents, because we say, yeah, we're going to have a public hearing and things of that nature, but a lot of people don't attend the public hearings. But they come back to you later and want to know why,
That's
whatever.
right.
So I want to make sure that something is being sent to that immediate area so that they know what is coming and they can be available to say yay or nay to it, because they're the ones that are going to have to live with it for the rest of for the duration of whatever that business is.
I totally agree.
Andrea?
Ms. Jordan, you want to speak to that?
Adriana? Ms. Jordan?
Pick up the mic, Ms. Jordan, because the mic over there is next to you.
I can't pick it up.
That one right there, yep. Your regular one. I'm going to give me one of those.
Did that work in any way, shape, or
No.
form? Okay, I don't even think it's on. It's not.
Okay, we're working.
So, as I discussed, I think at the last council meeting, they are required by state law to be notified if they live or have a business within 300 feet of any of these proposed uses, which in this case is like a social club use. And so they would actually probably be more likely to hear about it moving forward, because right now they don't get a notification in the mail. They just basically have to be home between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. in order to have someone knock on their door and tell them about it. And as most people are working, it's probably very unlikely they even hear about the social clubs right now, because that's the only mechanism by which they're notified. In the future, it's going to be a special land use, so they will get a notice in the mail about the public hearing if they live within 300 feet. And that's the exact same radius for knocking door to door right now.
And when you say social clubs, what are you pertaining to? What does that pertain to?
So again, as we went over, I think at a previous city council meeting, social clubs can mean a somewhat wide range of uses. So they can be anything from a boys and girls club to a motorcycle club to like an Elks Lodge. So it can mean various things, but generally falls within the purview of those types of uses.
Mr. Chair.
Sir.
I just have one question. Now, what triggered this to go on to the Planning Commission?
So we haven't had anything within the last year, but during the 3 years I've been at the city, I have seen a number of applicants come before city council with petition requirements that did prove onerous. I personally went out with applicants after they failed 3 times in a row over a period of 6 months to collect signatures just to see what they were experiencing in the field, because I couldn't believe it was that difficult. And when I did go out with them, I think we collected like 2 signatures the whole time we were in the field, and we tried to go to every single remaining address that was on the list, which was something like 30 addresses that were still remaining, and of those 30, we got 2 signatures, just because people, either the properties are vacant, it's an absentee owner, or because people are working during the day and they don't come to the door, because people are uncomfortable coming to the door. So it's extremely difficult to do.
Now, you made mention about an audit was conducted. What was the audit? How did this audit come about?
Audit.
You talked about the justification of the zoning audit conducted by RRC program for the city of Inkster to require the city to permit vertical mixed use. So what was that audit?
That's a different subject that's coming up later.
So it's the next one.
That's the next one.
So you didn't have an audit on the first one?
No.
That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it, motion carries. Next one, please.
Council to offer a second reading and approval of text amendments TA 19-25 to the city's zoning ordinance pertaining to provisions for mixed use and special land use per the recommendations of the Planning Commission.
What's your pleasure?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Support.
Been moved and supported.
Question.
Discussion?
Question.
Sir.
That's the question. That's what I got.
Now the question applies.
I was moving kind of fast, Ms. Jordan.
So the audit that I'm referencing is related to the Redevelopment Ready Communities program, of which the City of Inkster is engaged with this program. The program is run by MEDC at a state level, and we are working towards what's called certification. I know that they have come and done presentations to the previous council before about the program, but as part of our participation in the program, we were required to do an audit of our zoning ordinance where our RC coordinator reviewed our zoning ordinance for certain types of provisions that are intended to streamline development and make it more attractive to developers in the city. And one of the items, and it's actually the only remaining item that we need to do for the zoning ordinance itself, although there's other items for certification that we're still working towards, the only remaining zoning ordinance item that we need to do at this point is to make mixed use permitted by right instead of as a special land use. Because right now, if a developer wants to come into, say, our TCD district, which is supposed to be creating a walkable, bikeable, quasi-downtown area, in order to do the type of development that's desirable there, which tends to be commercial on the bottom with office or residential on the top floor, they have to go through the special land use process, even though that's the exact type of development that we're trying desperately to encourage there.
That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
All right. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? Ayes have it, motion carries. New business.
Consideration and approval for entering into a memorandum of understanding with Wayne County Community College.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Support.
Been moved and supported with the added additions to be actually done by our attorney. Neil, you got what we need as it relates to the memorandum of understanding for WC3D?
I believe so. And you're referring specifically to Member Watley's concerns.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. You guys come just really, really quickly, and from this, once the agreement is done, Trustee Wheeler, along with your colleagues from WC3D, Assistant Chancellor, along with the Chief of the IT Department is here from WC3D. If you could just tell us, so what are we doing and when are we starting?
Well, we're
What's this
starting
agreement?
on the council's approval and mayor's approval. And what we'll start with is the 3 classes and work towards the computer class to be implemented as long as we are moving along the continuum of getting the media room prepared for that.
And this is at the rec complex?
It is, sir.
And classes will be held on Monday and Tuesday?
Monday and Tuesday in the morning and in the evening.
Well, we know right now that the rec complex is closed.
Yes, sir.
And the financial impact to us doing this, is it anything that we can foresee? We know that we have staff members that's actually there.
Correct.
Currently working at the complex, and we do have a couple of other things happening throughout the day, but something like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think from what we've discussed, there aren't any direct costs. I mean, obviously utilities and that kind of stuff. I mean, that's
okay.
But in terms of the computer class, I think that's where we're talking about the IT infrastructure work, and that's part of the overall efforts that the city has been discussing, is my understanding, and talking with Mr. Cody, the IT director on our side.
Good. So how many classes? You said 3?
To start off, we would start off with 3, which
Okay.
would be an English class, a speech class, and a criminal justice class. and to later on implement a computer class.
How do people sign up?
You can actually go online to WayneCountyCommunityCollege.edu.
Okay.
And we also plan on doing a recruitment set up at the City of Inkster at the Dozier Center to see who all we can help in the process with financial aid, the application process, and any barriers that they may have to overcome for entry.
And the Chancellor, Dr. Ivy, has agreed to pay for the first, is it
15 students.
15 students?
Yep, the first cohort he's going to take full responsibility for.
Okay. And if you're over the age of
60,
You
there
can-
is no cost whatsoever at any time you take a class. And that's just not at the Inkster site. That would be at any one of our 6 locations.
So we'll be satellite location, WC3D, just like the one I see. Well, not as big, but we're getting there.
Absolutely.
We're starting.
So that
So we'll have
would
all
be a
of the
future-
flags and
Absolutely, bells, the whistles, the
Good.
flags, the
Beautiful.
logo, the whole 9 yards. Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
To let people know that we are here and we're here to service our community.
Well, thank you
Yes.
so very much. I know that a question that came up earlier as it relates to why we haven't done this before.
Yes.
And I just want to say to you, I really appreciate you, Chancellor. And I know a lot of people don't know that you're actually from Inkster.
I am born and
you
raised
actually live in Inkster right
I have
now.
no plans on leaving Inkster.
Well, good then.
Yes.
Good. And we really appreciate you.
Yes.
And we appreciate you too, Assistant Chancellor, for being here with us.
We
Thank you. Of
we
course.
appreciate our whole team.
Yes.
It is a team effort at Wayne County Community College District. I brought it to the forefront, and they have been championing me to the finish line, and we plan on continuing to do that with our city, with our residents, with our board, and anybody that's interested in partnering with a better Inkster, we're on with it.
Good. Councilwoman Wiley?
Could she list the 3 classes they're starting, the initial 3 classes
Yes, ma'am, I
again?
will. Yes. It would be an English class, a speech class, and a criminal justice class.
Well,
All right, thank
we do have from, I mean, just being a part of
Yes, sir.
WC3D, we can take any classes. We can get on the bus and go downtown or go over to.
You can go to the Table
so
Center, you
we
can
can
go to
we
Bellevue,
can
you
sign
can
up
go
in
wherever it is
Inkster,
you
but then
want
we can
to.
go
Yes.
wherever else to
Online.
actually take
If we have
more
Kaiser.
classes, right?
Absolutely.
Until we build more classes up.
Absolutely.
And I'm actually looking at working on a location just for the WC3 campus, along with some other components, because it's my understanding that you guys have just brought on some other universities as well.
We've just actually did a partnership with 25 more universities in the state of Michigan. So what we're doing is trying to broaden our base so that our peak of freedom for our citizens is just that more accessible.
Awesome.
Yes.
Any other questions from this body? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it, motion carried. Let's get to work. Thank you, guys. Education in Inkster is alive and well. We're moving forward. That's what I'm talking about. All right, perfect. What else we got here? What you got for me? All right, so public participation. All right, guys, we want to make sure. I'm sorry? Yes, I do. All right, guys, we want to make sure that we're being respectful to each other's time. It looks like we have a full house, and we're going to ring the buzzer at 2 minutes, but you got 3. And let me say that, so we'll be clear on that. All right. All right. So it's Yvette Brock.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Just a couple of things that I have. I'm concerned about the number of growth and dispensaries in the city. I know it was a moratorium on the dispensaries, but how do we go about, as citizens, asking for a moratorium being put on growth and dispensaries?
Yeah, I believe it was a moratorium on the actual cultivating. Cultivating, and then we had 3 dispensaries that, by ordinance, it was only 3 that's allowable.
Okay,
from my understanding, as it relates to the moratorium and the applications that's on file and the property that's available,
That's it.
It's like it's no more land, from my understanding.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. All right then.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
The other thing is, it seems to be a lot of buildings that have been sold to individuals that there's no movement on. They're being sold, and then they just stand
Say
there.
one more time, ma'am. I apologize.
That's okay. There
ahead.
seems to be a lot of buildings throughout the city
Yes.
that are being sold to individuals, and then they just sit and sit and sit
Yes.
for years. Is
Yes.
there a way that an ordinance can be attached to these sales, especially like on Inkster Road, Michigan Avenue, that says that they have to have movement on the buildings at a certain point? Is that against the state law, or can we put some kind of perimeters on there? I mean, like 18 months to years? Because we see all these buildings
I totally agree.
that are being sold, and then nobody does anything with them.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's twofold. It's the process, some of the processes within our own community that we're actually working on. I'm not saying that we're doing anything wrong or doing anything bad, or however, it's just it's sometimes it takes a lot of time in certain instances as it relates to where the buildings are located, if there's a special land use that's associated with them, and just the process as a whole as it relates to our ordinances and how we look at actual businesses once they close and how long they've been closed. Then they have to go back through a certain process with the building department. So we're working on those things in-house to be able to try to streamline that process as much as possible. Also through the planning department, Ms. Jordan's actually working on a list of properties within the community that are ready to do business but don't have anyone doing business in those properties, so we can reach out to those folks and say, hey, we're looking forward to you to get something going. What are your plans? I don't believe, and Neil, you can jump in as our attorney, I don't believe that we can put any type of stipulations on a private property owner to say that you have so much time to do something with your property unless they buy it through the city, and the city again attaches something to it as it relates to stipulations. Am I saying that correct?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I think your inclination's right. However, I prefer to give an opinion on something like that off.
So we'll work on that, though. I appreciate you bringing the question up to the forefront. But those are things that we will be working on as a community. We're going to be also to identifying those properties as vacant and working with some grassroots initiatives to do like a community soup type of initiatives, bringing those people in front of us and saying, hey, what are you looking to do? This is what we want, and then bringing some entrepreneurs to the table saying that we can actually get it done and try to partner with those people as much as we can. Understanding that we are a municipality and we're the city, that's not necessarily our job, but we're working to try to make as much progress as we can. We're working with private partners within our community.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Did you have something to add to that, Councilwoman Wiley?
Yes.
Please.
We do, if we sold the property, we do have a reversion clause in it. And I believe Ms. Fleming can speak to that. And also, but most of these properties are bought by Wayne County. They're bought from their thing. And one of the things that is part of that is they get 3 years before there is any actionable thing done on that property. So it all depends on when they bought it. And what might be a better idea is if we work with Wayne County to see how long, something like that can continue.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think great minds think alike because they've already been here and met with me, and we're moving forward with just that type of initiative. So thank you. Question, statement, comment?
I just like to say, I agree with you, Mr. Mayor. A lot of them, you can go there and push people on property, and they'll fight you to the end. But a lot of times when you sit and try to work with them and bring, and try to help them, we can get these properties back on tax roll and back in the community. And that's the kind of effort that we're doing. I find out here in Inkster, the reason why a lot of times we're not really growing is because we're not friendly. We're not friendly at all. When they come down, and I'm not telling nobody to cut no corners or anything like that, but sometimes you just have to be friendly and be encouraging with people and give them the inspiration, and they'll do it. You get it done. So I just like to bring that out, you know, like we talked about it in my area. I got a picture of every house in there, and then I'm not going there saying you're going to tear this down. No, I'm trying to help you do what you want to do. Because that's what we're supposed to do in our district, in our areas. We got bandit houses, we got things going on in there, you know. And I encourage all the rest of the council to sit across this table, take a view at your area, find out a lot of houses that you got in there that you can work with people with. I know a young lady talked to me today, says there's lots of money for people that they can get to fix these houses on up and put them on tax. So work on it.
All right, good. I think we took up more than 3 minutes. Sorry about that, guys, but I thought it was really important. Yvonne Moore, where are you, Ms. Moore? Come on up. Now, I know you want to do some presentations and certificates of appreciation. Come on down. You're the next contestant on. All right. Hey.
So good evening. I'm
Good
so
evening.
glad I came tonight. I've got a lot of information that I could take back to my residents, so I'm really thankful for that. Real quick, so what we did was, I know I'm kind of late, and this is February, but I wanted to let you know that we decided to give all of you guys a certificate of appreciation. And what the certificate says, the Inkster Housing Commission Resident Council would like to thank you for your dedication and support during our 2019 annual holiday celebration. And this is presented to you this month of February of 2020. So real quick, this is going to Mayor Patrick Wimbley.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
City Councilman Reverend George Williams. The Inkster Task Force, I don't know if there's someone here that can accept this for the Inkster Task Force. If not, I will take it back, and I'll give it to him at a later date. Mr. Gabe Henderson, he's in. City Councilman Stephen Chisholm. Stephen Chisholm. City Councilman Denard Shaw. City Councilwoman Sandra K. Watley. City Councilwoman Legina Washington. This one goes out to our Inkster citizens who care, and that was because they were there not only through our holiday celebration, but also for our coats for all of our kids. So,
Ruth Williams back in the back right there.
City Councilwoman Kim Howard, Mayor President, Mr. Timothy Williams, I don't know if he's over here, and real quick, Mr. William Miller. And just real quick, I just want to say a special thanks to all the resident council members. Also, there was a number of people that they're not here, so we decided to leave them there. So that would be Mrs. LaToya Floyd. She's with the NAN organization. Miss Betty Thomas, Miss Catherine Thomas, the Sunoco gas station on Van Born and Inkster Road. Also, Uncle Joe's Market. Also, Dee's Farmers Market. Also, Mr. Brandon Smith, Mrs. Nancy Sanford of our Housing Choice Voucher, and also numerous of our I'm sorry, I forgot someone. I did say Inkster Task Force, Mr. Byron Nolan, and also Ms. Kara Ostrowski, Mr. Anthony Watson. That's all of my presentations, and then I would like to invite all of you out to Mrs. Curtis Barge, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, for the census group. We are hosting a Get Your Hair Cut, Get Your Beard Trimmed, guys. Get yourself all groomed up. Ladies, we're having beauticians come out to braid hair and do a little something to your hair. We're asking if you come to bring your own hair. And also, for your ladies, you have to bring your own hair. So This will be to let our people in Inkster, and not only in housing, know how important it is to be counted. We want them to know to stand up and be counted. So this will be Friday, this coming Friday at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It will be at the Floyd B. Simmons Center, 29150 Carlisle. And we're looking forward to everyone. We're asking that just for the beauticians, for their time, to give them a monetary donation of $5 and up. Thank you. That's all I need.
Thank you. All right. The census. Everybody should be saying census. All right, Julie Lowe. I'm going to see you looking at me.
Mayor, Council, can I approach y'all?
Yeah, please, just give it right to the clerk.
And I
Thank
have
you.
enough, but you know, like, share it, please. You can always go on the website, westwoodschools.community.net/. I'm here because we need to spread the love that George was saying, right? So Westwood School, we are in need of a sinking fund. We need money. And we are asking everybody, the community, everybody to come out and vote on March the 10th. Our school need upgrading. We haven't had a millage in 50 years or 58 years. Our kids are from Inkster. The majority of our kids go there. So we need to keep them safe. We need roofs on the school buildings. We need heaters. We need everything. All I'm asking for us to come together as one, the city of Inkster, residents, council, mayor. Let's support Westwood. Let's support them. These are our kids, not nobody else. And let me say this. We don't want to send them to Wayne Westland because Wayne Westland don't want our kids. So let's keep them in our district. Our district, Inkster. If you live in the Westwood district area, you can vote. It explained in here. You can go on the website. You can look at all what I have in the brochure. Please support us. Let our kids be safe. Let us lease our school. We already had one taken away from us. Let's not let this one get away from us. It's not about us in a sense of way, because it's about our kids being safe, community. So March the 10th, please vote. Please, you need any information, you can contact me. I work at Westwood or anybody at the school. But please support us. My 3 minutes up. Do I got something else to say? Can I say something?
You good.
I'm just playing.
No, you
okay,
good.
Thank y'all.
All right, thank you. Habitat for Humanity? You didn't put your name on here, young man. That's okay. But you put your organization that you're with, so state your name when you speak. Thank you.
I wasn't sure whether I was I'm here to represent Habitat, but I live in the city. So I'm Robert Johnson, Operations Director with Habitat for Humanity. It was inappropriate to speak to the issue because we were on an agenda for a different item, and I didn't want to mix the two issues which were approved. And so I just wanted to bring up a few lots that we would like to, one of which we would like to just get back. We had previously owned the lot, but because of some misdeeding for the lots, we lost the lot. And so we are just trying to, long story short, just trying to get the lot back. We've strategically received certain lots for $1. It is our position that we will be building on those lots, the lots that I'm asking for. In one of the lots, though, we're interested in building a warehouse where we store some of our products and also where we train some of the individuals in the city of Inkster and Western Wayne County. And so we want to make that strategic partnership with the city of Inkster so that we're actually doing the training here in the city of Inkster specifically because we see in affordable housing, I think this is what we spoke to earlier, that individuals would like to fix up their locations, but they don't have individuals who have the training and qualified to actually do the work. And so with us bringing a formal program to that warehouse, we would be willing to, and we did talk to Wayne County just now to see if they were open, and they did say yes. But, until that happens, we would still like to house a program here in the city. But to speak specifically, it's 26130 Dunning, which is a lot, and then 26105, which is behind the house. And then the empty lot that we're talking about is on the corner of Bayhan and Dunning, and that's where we'd like to put the warehouse. And so we can send an official.
We won't say warehouse, you say training facility?
Yeah, so we want to make sure that.
Training facility.
So when we do a training facility, we house the products that we train the individuals on.
Exactly.
And so for
when
us.
you talk about products, you mean the actual wood, the nails, the
yes,
stuff you need to build the house.
That's correct.
Okay.
And so we'll be using those things in-house to do things like build what's the things that are in the backyard? Sheds. And so we want to make sure that as we build out with our shed program, we find that it's a great way to teach individuals how to build. They get the infrastructural training, but they're hoping individuals to be able to store products outside of their house that are combustible, that don't need to be in a house, that needs to be outside. And so that program, we would like to partner with the City of Inkster to make sure that we're able to push that program. So that's all I have. And we would like the City Council to take some formal position on it so that we can move forward.
We got the information. We'll get back with you.
Thank you.
Did you guys have a question for him?
Yes. I know that we were going through processes the last council that we had. Was anything resolved from that?
So,
if they can, I would like for you to bring our mayor up to speed. Today is not the time, but I know
I
there
appreciate
were,
you saying that.
Things going back in the past that we were dealing with Habitat. So I'm not sure what was the end result, but we need to.
And I think, to the lawsuit and all of that.
Right. So we need to look into that
yeah.
and bring the mayor up to speed. And I think.
I am.
And I think the mayor's already been approached by our CEO on those issues from both sides.
Okay.
But I just want to be very clear with our position. The mayor has assigned a liaison to us, and that is a handshake from the city to work with a public nonprofit organization that builds housing for the people of the city of Inkster. And because of that handshake that he's extended, we are extending the same handshake. And we think that it's very important that these type of relationships continue to be built with these type of handshakes. Because I think Councilman Williams said it best. We want to have a good rapport with individuals who are trying to give the service, not, shut the individuals out. So I appreciate you bringing that to
and I think
surface.
we do have material that we have gotten from last previous council that we can bring the other council members up to speed as well of what was going on. But okay, thank you
Let's
for
just
that.
be clear that the Habitat for Humanity is a national.
Right. And so
national organization.
we're international.
I'm not saying you.
I'm not
just saying period.
So we're international, but our affiliate here is specifically located here in Western Wayne County, and we specifically build more houses than any other city in Wayne County in the city of Inkster.
Wow. Okay, we want to keep that going. Thank you. Lucius White. How you doing there, young man?
Hey, how you doing?
Fine, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, City officials, residents. My name is Lucius White. Grew up and raised here in Inkster, Michigan. And I think everybody should have a vision, a dream. And I've had a vision, I had a dream a long time ago, and a vision a long time ago to become a professional wrestler. And I've seen my dream come to life. I wrestled for the pros, TV several times. Now I just want to come back and give back to the city. My vision is to have a training facility, a professional wrestling school here at the Inkster complex at the Booker Dozer Recreational Center. I want to train individuals, young kids, up 16 and older, and I can actually put them on shows too. And I'd like to have the city council and the city official help me on this journey, on this endeavor that I'm trying to do. Also, another thing that's going on, we're scheduled, I'm a promoter too, and we're scheduled to have a professional wrestling event April 19th at the Booker Dozer Recreational Center. I would like to invite everybody at the Booker Dozer Recreational Center to come and support. I got flyers, I'm gonna leave flyers on the table right here. And the show's April 19th, doors open at 5:30. Show started at 6 p.m. Come support. We got a lot of great wrestlers, a lot of great performers from different states that's coming. And you can buy tickets online at mdwawrestling.com. I'm the owner and the chairman that's running the group. So I would like you guys' support, and I'll leave you guys some flyers right there if you guys have any questions.
I have a question for you, Mr.
Go ahead.
Do you train women?
Yes, I do.
I got two I want to sponsor.
Okay.
Really? I think you enjoy them.
Okay, that's fine. Bring them on here. They can sign up on the web.
But I'm serious. They want to be wrestlers.
Yeah, and you're interested in becoming a professional wrestler, everything is online. You can go on my website, you can sign up, and you can see our bios and our backgrounds and stuff, and upcoming shows. So I like the city's support. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Mr. Cameron Fitz, Mr. Bivens, where you going? Don't move. Come on, Cameron, do not move. These questions are all for you, young man. Come on up, Cameron. I hear you. I hear you.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, citizens of Inkster. I'm a citizen of Inkster, been a citizen of Inkster 57 years. I want to talk about the quality of the water first, and then the rules of the courthouse. First off, the water is contaminated because of two different parasites in the water. It's not just lead. Previous mayor stated that it was only 30 houses was built before the 50s that had lead in them, which was ridiculous. We all know that. We all grew up here from Georgia. All of know more than 50 houses built before the 50s. Okay, and it's not the parasite of lead. See, Governor Whitner came to Detroit and said, well, I'm going to give him $200 million to build, change all the pipes in Midtown. But when she found out, even if she changed the pipes in Midtown, would not stop the contamination. And Flint, as we talk right now, just said I was at an event with Sister Jones from Flint saying the water is only good for watering the grass. And they're up there in Flint getting bottled water as we speak, as well as filters. Okay? Remember, only for grass, the regular water. Therefore, you can't even bathe in it, but the water is so contaminated. Both of our sites here on Middle Belt and Inkster Road is contaminated. Wayne County, one of the third site. It still wouldn't heal the contamination. Even if they changed all the pipes in the city, what about the houses? You got to change all the seats, turn off the water, turn it back on, then it'll be cool. Until then, it's just genociding us right here. Okay? And so, even, look, the water comes from Lake Erie to Detroit, to Inkster, and to Flint. Then Highland Park was getting water from Lake Superior. They cut them off. They getting the same water we get. So I just leave you with that. Now, that's just a thought for everybody. Now I'm going to talk about the court. First off, you place people on probation using MCL 791-991 or administrative rule, unpromulgated rule, as well as use a pre-sentence report to sentence people, as well as for civil violation as well as criminal violation or misdemeanors. The rule's been unpromulgated since July 14th, 2016, when I met with Governor Snyder, Roy Calley, and Schroeder, and a deposition where they offered me a settlement. I refused. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I'll take one off. I want to see all three of y'all jump from the Hoover Dam. And I walked out. They changed the rules, every last rule that your court is using the next day. All rules have been unpromulgated according to MCL 24.207K. No rules shall be amended but rescinded. All rules was rescinded, but there was never placed a public hearing, placing any more rules back on the docket. I told Governor Whitner at Yolanda Adams' concert in Dietrich Haddon, our homeboy from Inkster, about this. And she told me, be quiet, I'll give you anything you want, okay? Therefore, every day that this judge sends somebody or use a pre-sentence report or put them on probation is illegal, unconstitutional, non-promulgated.
Mr. Fitz, your 3 minutes is up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Officer Lebo.
Hello again. So, just wanted to let you guys know that this Wednesday, as in like 2 days from now, February 19th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the next bake sale. Starting to get warmer out, which means I'm going to turn into a blur of activity. To sponsor that blur, we need money. To do so, we make baked goods. So please come support. This is sponsored by the Inkster Commission on Aging. Most of these items are priced at $1 and help fund things like our movie nights and our National Night Out and things of that nature. So if you could come on by, like I said, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Wednesday, Police Department lobby, sponsored by the wonderful ladies at the Commission on Aging. Delicious stuff. We got shortbread and cracker toffee and just good stuff. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Officer. Gabe Henderson.
Hello, family. How's everybody doing today? Love you all.
Sir, how are you?
Love I have for you. I ain't gonna say it. Well, anyway, okay, I belong with the Little Park Manor Block Club. We having a Black History program. Okay, that's Saturday, the 22nd. It's gonna be at Booker Dozier Rec Complex, 5 o'clock. We've been having them over the years, and they're usually really nice programs. We have some good entertainment. Also, we have some good food. That's 5 o'clock, the 22nd, coming up. Okay. Booker Dozier Rec Complex. $10 donation. Help us along. Because we are very active, in the Parkwood Park. We got a few plans. We want to do some more development. Thank y'all for what y'all did, giving the equipment back and all that. So that's our main concern as far as what we want to do. Well, okay. Another thing. I ain't gonna say that. Everybody say, no, but okay, right on the corner, of Lexington and Wellesley, on the south corner, we getting a sinkhole right on the corner. It's getting worse, and we had talked about that once before. And we got a little cone there, but it's sinking further and further. You can just see the tip of it, right now. But it's getting worse. And I hate for somebody to be coming across there real close and all that and collapse, can't be like that. Okay, I did say a few times about the mentoring program at the Booker Dozier Rec Complex. Okay, normally on Tuesday. Okay, they're having a winter break, so we won't be up there this Tuesday. But next Tuesday, we're starting back and hoping that more people come and help us along. Children need a little assistance, in many things, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Talk to the teacher with it. No, but help us along. Okay, and I thank you for that. And that's about all I have to say. Yeah, and that starts right 4:30. On Monday, then Boy Scouts, okay, on Wednesday, yeah. Trying to teach the boys, how to do a few things. What, tie them up?
Tie a knot.
Well, no, build it. In fact, I want to teach them more in the carpentry and even drafting. I want these some of the things I want to do in plumbing and stuff like
Good.
that. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Some of the skills they can help them along. Hey. Can I say something again?
Please, sir.
No, I ain't going to say that. No, but you know what? My plans and all that, I'm going to have me a greenhouse, cold frame, and no chicken.
Oh, that's what you have. We're encouraging community gardening.
Well,
How about that?
Okay, thank you. I love you. Love you.
Love you too, man. Shirley Ankerson?
Okay.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
And my fellow citizens of Inkster. I just had a question. You answered my first question about the about the lawsuit.
Yeah.
But I want to know why we're not having a State of the City address. I mean, I know you're having you're planning an inauguration ball, but don't you think it would be nice for the citizens to know what your plans are for us?
Yeah.
Especially when we have lawsuits and different things that's
No
going on in the
doubt.
city.
So let me say this. So I don't know how the rumor got out there that I wasn't having a State of the City, but I was very clear that I wanted to see what the audit findings were before we talked about the State of the City without facts.
Okay.
So everything that I like to do with facts.
Okay.
And approaching that.
So you're saying we're going to have a State of the City?
We will look at a State of the City in April.
All right,
and
thank
I'll be
you.
releasing the day.
All right,
Okay?
appreciate it.
You're welcome. And you can come in and talk to me too, anytime you're ready, about my vision and what we're doing. I'm excited. All right. Who we got next? Pastor Overman? All right.
So good evening, everyone, Mayor, Council, admin, and residents of the City of Inkster. I'm here for a couple of things today. The first thing I want to do is I'm here as the Vice President of the Western Wayne County NAACP, where we're over 24 cities, and I'm inviting you and you and you, if you are not a member, to become a part of it. What are we doing? You say our most imperative thing we're doing now is getting you registered to vote, your families, your neighbors. We're going street by street to address that, as well as the census. So I want to make sure that we are on it, and that is happening in the City of Inkster. Every single person, look at them as $18,000. Please look at your folks that way. Look at the possibilities for our community. And over the 10 years, what does that really look like as far as services? So we are pushing that, and I'm certain that our city wants it pushed as well. So Census 2020, primary elections, get out to vote, right? That's my first thing. The second thing is we are doing a Champions of Faith for the Western Wayne County NAACP for individual churches. Last year's winner that had his trophy presented by our Lieutenant Governor was Pastor Hearns, who's in the room. So he really worked hard. Our Lieutenant Governor gave him that trophy. So we're pretty excited. So tell your pastor, your church, there was a time when the Western Wayne County NAACP and the national NAACP, when they spoke, people moved. So we want to make sure we remember that and become a part of it. My second hat is Operation Refuge, Camp Inspire. We're getting ready. Excited about Pi Day 3/14. So you will have more information on that. Today we met with a superintendent from Westwood Schools as he presented to the Ministerial Alliance, and he is really bulldog strong, as you know. So we want to make sure we get behind that proposal. It affects me. I live on that area. The most I could pay, if I had the most expensive house, is $200. So at $20 a month, every child is worth that to me, and I know they're worth that to you. So when we get the opportunity to share that information about the schools, we want to do that. We want to make sure that our children have access to safe, good education. So let's remember that as we share that. Please call us and get your child in Camp Inspire. Girls, 5th grade, thank you, through 12th grade, Camp Inspire. We're getting excited, getting riled up. Please give me a call or Jennifer. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael Wells. Mr. President, you have 2 minutes.
All right.
2 minutes.
Good evening.
only.
Actually, I'm here as a resident, and I on my form I did attach some questions.
Yep,
Okay, you saw
I do
that,
have that.
and you can just email the response.
Yes.
I have a question about the CSO basin. I understand several years ago the state required that the city had to put another basin in. I was just curious what the status of that is. What's the cost and the time frame? Number two, it's also my understanding that several years ago the state of Michigan loaned the city some money. I'm not sure. I was just curious what the how much was loaned to the city. What was the purpose of the loan? When was the loan made? How much has the city paid back?
Hold on 1 second. I think there's a couple of things that we can just nip right quick.
Okay.
Speak to the CSO basin quickly. Director Bibbins.
To the Mayor, Council, viewing audience and audience here, your questions, we have 2 CSO basins in the city of Inkster right now, one on Inkster Road and one on Middlebelt. The state did require us to build a third. We are disputing that right now. When we're in the process of working that out with the state as far as us building a third basin because of this situation in Inkster. We are a distressed community. Those basins roughly run about $20 million per basin or upwards, and that goes onto the taxpayer. So right now I am in conversation with the state trying to work out another solution, which will not cost our taxpayers another $20 million. As you know, we paid off Inkster Road, and we're still paying on Middlebelt, and I think we have a couple more years before that one is paid off.
All right, segue into talking about the loan.
Yeah.
And I believe he's speaking about the $3 million. Speak to that, please.
So I believe you're referring to the emergency loan.
I don't know the specific. I believe that might have been it. I think it was right on the
That's what it is.
Okay, so the City of Inkster back in, I believe it was 2013, 2014, received a $3 million emergency loan from the state of Michigan. We've been paying interest on that loan. Principal repayment will begin in a couple years, essentially at $300,000 a year, repayment of the principal for 10 years until that loan is repaid.
Okay.
All right.
300,000 per year. Okay,
Go ahead.
great. Okay, because I was just curious what the financial condition of the city. I think I just heard you answer one of my questions. I was going to ask about the audit for the most recent fiscal year, but you answered that. I guess it's not ready yet. I guess
It is ready. It's on the state website.
Oh, so you did. There was already a public presentation.
We're doing the public presentation on March, the first meeting in March.
The first meeting. Okay, great.
We'll be doing a public presentation, but you can go right now and download the information on the state website.
For the audit.
For
Okay.
the audit.
It's been finalized. Okay,
Yep.
great.
And then
great.
we're going to put a link on our site as well. This one is there?
Yep.
Already on the city's website as well.
Okay, great. The other thing, too, is I think the city should look, I don't know where your ordinance is on pets being left outdoors in very inclement weather. It's terrible. I know there's a lot of issues in a lot of communities, and I saw not too long ago on the news, East Point has a very good city ordinance that they just adopted. You might want to look into that.
I'll reach out to the mayor over there for sure.
Yeah, and because, it's just a shame when people leave their pets out and when the weather is this bad all day and all night.
Okay.
The other thing, real quick, I had something. I'll pass this out to you. I have a newsletter from the Friends of the Leanna Hicks Library. Also, if anybody's interested in joining, I do have some forms. They asked me to come and make that announcement. And then this Thursday, February 20th at 6 o'clock, the library board meeting is right here in council chamber. So please come out so you can find out everything that's going on with the library.
Stay right there for 1 second. When will the library be open?
It should be sometime in late March. I think we set a date of March. I didn't have that with me because I wasn't prepared to do that, but we actually have a meeting to get that finalized. We did vote last month. It was tentative. It was like March 21st, I believe.
So you say like towards the end of March, though?
Right towards the end of March. And that would be a teaser for people to come to the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
To come to our meeting
beautiful.
and
That's why
find
I wanted
out.
to make sure that we said that because you're on television.
Right.
So we want to make sure that the date for the actual meeting for the library is when?
Okay, so that's this Thursday, February 20th at 6 o'clock right here in council chambers.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
But I came here as a citizen, too.
I know you did. I just put you on the spot. I got you. Councilwoman Watley?
I understand that if, Ruthie, that you all are having some sort of soft opening for the library?
Oh, yeah, that's right. 29th of this month. Grand opening is the 22nd of March.
Right, but you're having some sort of soft opening because I got gonna get some sort of information. So that's something.
Good. All right, perfect.
Okay.
All right, then, but we'll be at the meeting.
Okay, and this is each one for each one of y'all. Just pass it around.
Thank you. Those should go to the clerk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. She already did it already. All right, Hardy Rob.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
I'll real quick because we only got 2 minutes, but God bless you all. I'm just here to say right now to the Mayor and Council and the DPS, you guys did an awesome job with the snow removal when it came through. I wasn't here to tell y'all last 2 weeks ago, but snow removal and everything is going good because if you're doing bad, I won't be able to tell you that. So I tell you when you're doing good.
Thank you.
But God bless you. But I just want to say it was also a good statement that Ms. Watley said as far as making sure that the residents in the neighborhood and the areas that those social outlets or social groups or whatnot would be located at, that we go out into those neighborhoods and make sure that we get, just some hands-on, door-to-door type things like they said we suggested we've already been doing. And also, I want to say, as far as what my young lady, Ms. Bard, said, census. We're working on the census. I've been working on it this whole season here and trying to promote it and get it out there and let everybody know the jobs are still available for Inkster residents right here, right now. We've been doing some little things going on. But this week, as they say, we're getting their hair done for folks out here, kids and children and young ladies and folks who may not have that little extra dollar to get their hair. This is an opportunity for them to get out there and do that. And also, I just wanted to say, Mayor and Council, you guys doing a good job. God bless you.
Thank you. Virginia Stewart?
Good evening, Mayor and Council, residents of the city of Inkster. I just come to say Happy Black History Month. We have to, on purpose, celebrate and remember the things that we went through and our ancestors went through. So I always want to take an opportunity to say that. And also to remind you guys, as Pastor Overman did, she took everything I was going to say, but I'm going to keep mine down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, that voting is a right. Remember the Edmund Pettus Bridge and what people went through. John Lewis was one of the people that was instrumental in that. That was in 1965. I was 4 years old. So I just want you guys to think about things that people went through for us to vote. I know everybody here is registered to vote. But now you can go on and check your ballot online, and you can vote absentee, which is save so much time. Go to mvic.sos.state.mi.us. mvic.sos.state.mi.us. And if you forget that, just go to Michigan Secretary of State, and you can find it.
And it is on our website. The city clerk is doing a good job and making sure we're on that. Yep.
Right. So I just wanted to let you know a little fact that 7% of black people were registered to vote before what happened on Bloody Sunday with the Edmund Pettus Bridge. After that, over 12 million people was registered to vote by the NAACP, and 60% of people went out to vote. And in 1965 is when the president actually signed the Civil Rights Act. It's a right to vote. It is a right to vote, not an option. And we have to put our mindset in it and pass that on to our families and our kids so that our kids will understand it's their right to vote. It's not an option. We have to get that out of our mind. It is not an option. Every election, everybody should vote because it is our right. It is our right to drink clear water. It is our right to drink fresh air. And it is our right to vote. It's all in the same category. We have to use that right. So that's what I'm here to say today. Pastor Open said all my other stuff, and Happy Black History Month.
All right, thank you. Belinda Jenkins?
Hello, I apologize for my scribble. This is my first time up here.
No, you're fine.
I'm standing up for Hairstyles by Thomas business, and I had a couple questions. Why did the licensing for renewal over double in price is one. And the other one is, in order for me to get my license renewed, I have to get cameras around the building? Because that's what the inspector came and wrote on mine.
When was that? When did you get the?
Just last Wednesday.
That came from the building department, am I saying that correct? Yeah. And then they're still enforcing the $190?
$420. It went from $180 to $420.
So they're still just doing what they want to do. Okay, sound good.
That was it.
Yep, we'll respond to you in writing.
Okay,
And
thank you.
the city clerk will be in contact with you. Did you have a number on there?
I didn't write my number on it. But
And you've been in business there for how long?
oof,
That long, right?
yeah.
And you normally
That's
go
my
through
mom.
you normally go through a business license process.
It's never like this.
Never like this, right? Never been like this, right?
No.
Okay. I gave them clear direction on what to do, but obviously they're doing what they want to do, and we won't accept that.
Thank you.
So
This is the building department doing that aspect.
that is.
Who
is it?
She thought I'm doing it.
Oh, let's make it clear that it's not the city clerk. So the process used to be, and it still is, that if you're a business in the city, you're doing business in the city, you go through a business licensing process. Each year, the fire department comes out for safety and inspects your property. And as long as you're in good standing with your taxes, you haven't had any violations as it relates to ordinances, the city clerks issues you a business license for, what's the cost,
$230.
what is it?
$230.
$230.
That's your fire inspection is included in that.
So what the building department did was they enacted, from my understanding, talking to the previous administration, that they enacted $190 fee for you now to have a certificate of occupancy or a certificate of compliance. So they would then in turn come in your business, look at your business from head to, from the foundation to the top, electrical, plumbing, all that different stuff, each year, and charge you $190. On top of that, I'm hearing now, and this is the first time of me hearing it as the executive of the corporation, that they're saying that you have to have cameras at your location, which is actually part of a program that we're actually looking at doing, which is like the Green Light Project in the city of Detroit. It'll be the Inkster Spotlight Project, which we're working on it now, but we haven't enacted it yet. So we will respond to you in writing. Ma'am?
They changed the ordinance where the businesses have to get that. And they did, it's been a couple of years.
So it's been a couple of years and they haven't been doing it, and now they start doing it when I become the mayor. Okay, all right then. So we'll work. Yeah, we'll work on that part of it. Okay. So it sounds like, Officer Lebo, did you want?
That's what.
And this is an ordinance that's been on the books for 2 years, and now they're just starting to enact it.
I don't write them down.
Okay. Yeah, just so convenient. All right. So we'll work on that.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Have a good rest of your day, or evening, I'm sorry. Will Miller? So you only been enforcing this for 2 years, and you want to enforce it now?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, family, and friends. My name is Will Miller. I'm coming up here today with regards to some information we received from the 13th Congressional District meeting that we just had. We had our convention that was set up for our delegates for the upcoming state events. When Councilwoman Tlaib came up, we spoke to her about issues with people getting hired for the census to actually be workers for it. She spoke to that, saying that the census did say they were behind trying to hire more people, but she wants to make sure that people in her communities that she represents are getting hired or getting opportunities for those jobs. So she said, if you find that you applied last year or within the last few months and still haven't heard anything from them, she wants to know in her office. So if everybody knows Oscar's mans her office here in Inkster, she wants you to go ahead and give him a call. Let him know that you've applied and no one has reached out to you from the Census Department with regard to any work. And then she'll talk to them about it and get back to you. So I have that. For Brother Bivens, how are you, sir? Good day to you. My basement flooded twice in the last 2 weeks. And when I sent the stuff I played for the plumber to go look down in there, you said, man, you had nothing in your drains. You might want to have the city come take a look, see if there's something going on in their lines. So I was like, okay. I'll go tell him. So, nah, but you right there. So. Yeah, it's been over the course of 2 weeks. The last flood was about 3-4 days ago.
When that occurred, I think you called.
Okay, I'm a novice. I apologize. 26572. I'm going to go ahead and say it in the mic. 265. Yeah, I did write it down there, but I ain't scared.
I'll get it.
Okay. Yes, sir. Last thing, I just wanted to thank everybody for the vote of confidence for the seat. It's something I've been pining for a while. It's something I've been fighting for in other capacities. I do appreciate it. I'm going to take a second to talk to the other commissioners, see what their plans have been, and then I'm going to try and enforce upon them what it is that I want to see and the things I've heard in the meetings that I've been in with resident council and several other folks. So thank you for the work opportunity. I know I like to serve, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, man, for your service. Jackie, I don't want to botch your last name, so if you could just call you Madam President.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, and residents. I am Jackie Davis Betzerai, President of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the Eta Iota Omega chapter. And we just wanted to announce and make sure that you are aware we are celebrating 60 years of service in Inkster. Yes. We were chartered February 6, 1960. We are excited. You will hear from us throughout the year. We do thank the residents for all of their support. We look forward to partnering with you on different activities, and I'm even more excited to hear about the partnership with Wayne County Community College because we do have a summer camp partnership with them at their Downriver location for a free camp. So we just wanted to make sure that we announce that to you. You will be receiving various invitations throughout the year, and we hope to see you.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Last but certainly not least, everybody say census. Census. Census? Census. Come on, Curtis Steen. Curtis Steen Barge. Our leader on the census. Census. There you go. Perfect.
It is time again for census, and we are ready. With all the information we received earlier in our meeting, we know that we need money. So we are asking everyone in attendance to ask three people until we have covered the entire city of Inkster. Secondly, we have the Complete Count Committee has decided to partner with the Inkster Public Housing Resident Council E-Board as a co-chair in our efforts in public housing and in senior housing. We have, and I heard Mrs. Moore talk about our first event coming up Friday with the hair braiding and haircuts for young people at Floyd Simmons. We have we have quite a few other places that we can have things, and I would like some suggestions, especially from younger people, to help us bring the count in for those between 18 and 30. We're inviting people to join our committee between 18 and 30 because we got every other area age group covered, more or less. We'll be meeting here tomorrow at 1 o'clock in council chambers to more or less come up to speed on what has happened and what is to happen in our census effort. I'd like to thank Reverend Councilman Williams for his help in public housing in District 1, Councilman Dinar Shaw, and Mayor Pro Tem Kim Howard in their work or their offer to work with the unions, the UAW. Nice. Because that we found recently talking to working people who pay a lot of taxes that they don't seem to understand that that's how they get their money back too. So it's necessary to explain to everybody who may not know that that is how we recoup our tax dollars. I'd like to thank Councilman Chisholm and Councilwoman Washington in their effort to look forward to helping with youth to see what kind of events we can pull together at the complex and at Floyd Simmons that will bring our young people together at census rallies. We have invitations, a lot of invitations. I have invitations to the UAW retirees to solicit help from them, and the UAW general membership as well. So we'll be speaking with them in March, but we have another job fair this week. You know that the hair braiding and the hair cutting is on the 21st, Friday the 21st, from 11 to 4 at Floyd Simmons. Also on Friday, we are partnering with Western Wayne Family Health Center in a job fair. Of course, theirs is a medical job fair. They're opening another facility. But they have invited the local census office to come in and share in their job fair. Questions?
Mr. Mayor.
Census. Oh, census. Yes, ma'am.
Are we, I'm not sure what all your process is, but are we willing and able to send out maybe a mailing list to our residents reminding them of the census?
There are a few letters that we have drafted. I have drafted, and one is a welcome letter from the mayor of the city of Inkster. What we will do as realtors is run every property that was sold in the city of Inkster in at least the last year. We know that there's been a lot of people added, and we've lost a few, but we've also added people to our community. And to have the mayor write a letter welcoming those people, send a letter to their address, and hopefully we can also come up with names, welcome them to the city, and asking them to share responsibility for bringing revenue to our city. Okay. We have to date with basically the apartment buildings that we've covered have the potential of reaching, and I say potential, of reaching up to $12 million in revenue if we can utilize the resources of each building. Each building has offered us something. If we can come in with enough volunteers, when people bring their forms to the senior building or their letter to each senior building, and we have hit every one, they will give us space to have people come in and help them fill it out, whether they want to fill it out online, on your laptop, or whether their phone, or if they get paper. And that's still up for grabs. We have no idea how much paper we're going to get in Inkster. Some cities will be all electronic. The last meeting that I spoke with Linda Clark was that we were not sure. But she said we could more or less expect that there would be a lot of paper. So if we can, public housing has given us 3 sites that we can set up stations to help people, set up a schedule. Twin Towers, Thompson Towers, Cherry Hill Square, all of them have offered us the space and the time that we can have to come in and help people, because what we're finding out is that many people don't comply because they do not know how. Especially in the senior buildings, you're going to find people who you give them an electronic code to do something online, you can forget it. It's not going to be done. So there are several churches. One is actually right outside the city of Inkster, but has all Inkster parishioners. Has 8 computers at his church. What we're going to be doing this month, the next month, is going to each one of the sites, the people in control of those sites, and see what time we can utilize in their computer lab or their coffee room or whatever, so that we can help the people. Over at St. Clemens Manor, the events director told me that there's only 40 apartments there. but that she will take personal responsibility for helping everybody in that building to comply with the census. And basically, that's what we need is people to help with compliance, because a lot of people just don't know. And for those of us who want to get that dollar in, we got to be the ones to help them.
Mr. Chair,
Please.
Christine, are you still want to have the kickoff, the census kickoff on the 28th?
Yes. Yes. That
28th of what?
Of February.
Okay.
Yes, we are going to have that on the 28th. It's been more or less invitational because of the space and the funds. But anybody, of course, is welcome to come. But we have sent out invitations. We have about 75 invitations out now, expecting to have about 100 people for the kickoff. And that's basically so we can inspire each other. And then people take the message out to the public, the message and the attitude that we got to get this done. We got too many things coming at us. We got a deficit, we got water pipes, we got everything coming at us, and the money ain't there. It's not there. So it's up to us to bring it in.
All right. City Clerk?
No comments tonight, Mayor.
City Treasurer?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just want to remind everyone about the upcoming board of review beginning in March. We've got 3 meeting dates set. March the 9th, board of review will be meeting from 9:30 to 4:30. March 16th, meeting from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the evening. And then on March 17th, which is a Tuesday, meeting from 9:30 until 4:30. And if any residents have any questions or they want to schedule an appointment, you can call the City Hall at area code 313-563-4267, which is the phone number for the assessor's office. Thank you.
All right. I want to hear last week where you start at. That way, this way. Don't make a difference. Who wants to start? You start?
Yeah.
Councilwoman Washington?
So on behalf of Minister Layton Muhammad and Brother Marcus, they're making an attempt to do a carpool for Savings Day, and they're giving out free vouchers to Inkster citizens who would like to come. There would be a section just for Inkster residents. And the meeting section would be, the meeting location, would be Cherry Hill and Inkster Road, which is the Cherry Hill Plaza. So if you guys would like a voucher, you can come see me. Again, it's free. It's Sunday, February 23rd at 2 p.m. in Detroit at the TCF Bank. Also, Gabe Henderson, he wanted me to remind you guys, if you want to buy a ticket for the Middle Park Manor Black History event, you can see him. The tickets are $10, or you can call him at 734-729-5339. I will also like to thank Chief Riley and IPD for securing a vacant home at 29212 Parkwood. I received a lot of calls. We're very pleased. We had a couple complaints and issues of trespassing in a vacant home and other issues. And as soon as I gave them the complaints, they came and boarded everything up and made sure that the actual house was boarded up. And for those who don't know, my grandmother, she passed last week. Really emotional time for me. But it was, her funeral was this weekend. I just want to thank everyone who came out. I want to thank the mayor, Jennifer Williams, Councilman Steve Chisholm, Councilman George Williams, our fire chief, Hubbard, and Vilma Oberman, Will Miller, which were all here at the time, and Pastor Hearns. And so many others who attended. And I wanted to say thank you for those who also called and texted me. So I really appreciate your prayers and thoughts at this time. My uncle, he's also here. He's going to stand up. His name is Louis Washington. He's actually also a city council person in Alabama, in Montgomery, Alabama, in District 2. So show him some love.
In District 2, too.
In District 2. I know that was a crazy thing. Both Washingtons in District 2.
And he's a former mayor running for mayor.
Huh?
He's a former mayor running for mayor.
Oh,
Fill it out.
You running for mayor?
Mayor. First black mayor.
Oh, I did not know that. I just learned something.
I'm
And I have one more last thing. I'm sorry, I just have to throw this out here. And this is speaking from the senator's office. I'm her district liaison. So I wanted to invite everyone out who may be impacted by the severe flooding near around Ecorse Creek and other high flooding impact communities, which we do get impacted by high flooding sometimes in the homes. U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, and Congresswoman Debbie Dingell will be out on Wednesday, February 19th at 6 p.m. at Annapolis High School. So if you guys would like to come, we would love to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Chisholm?
Good evening. The only thing I would like to share and invite everybody to is the Planning Commission meetings or special meeting in lieu of the February 10th one, right, Ms. George? And it begins tomorrow right here in Council Chambers at 6:30 p.m. And that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Watley?
I have nothing.
Thank you, ma'am. Mayor Pro Tem Howard?
Nothing.
Thank you, ma'am. Keep it going.
You know.
Councilman Shaw.
That's nothing either. Not this season.
Oh, boy. Councilman Shaw.
I just want to encourage everybody for the census. Again, I know we've been talking about it. It's a great thing, and I believe in the city of Inkster. I know that we're going to get that count that we need. We're going to get the monies that we need, because I'm under the impression that we have what we say. And if we have what we say, if we speak that out, those things will come to pass. So I'm a firm believer. You have not because you ask not. So that is what we need to do. And I'm believing in Inkster that we will come out and do what we need to do for the census. So we want to make sure that we all be counted. And we're going to be pumping the trumpet. Curtis Steen, pumping the trumpet. Crying out and sparing not. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Man, great, man. Thank you, sir.
First of all, I'd like to thank Moore for the certificate appreciation. However, I'm not going to take the credit for that. I'm going to my all the ladies into the National Christian Action was powerful. I won't make that time. Okay, Brother Bivens, you've been doing a fine job. No complaints, but I got something you have to do. This has been on the radar for quite a long time. There is right on the corner of Burton and Farnham, on Farnham, 3 houses down. There's been a street light out for over, I guess she told me, 5 or 6, 7 months. And she said matter of fact, I think it was during the time Tim Williams, was in here, and she said she kept complaining and nobody ever came and put a light in there. Okay? How long will it take us to get a light on that street? It's very important because it's on Farnham, 3 houses down when you're right there at Burton. Okay, we got a lot of problems right there at Burton.
Yeah, light there and out, but there's no light there.
There's no light there. It's out. It's a pole there.
Street light there, but the light is out.
Right. Okay. And
at the corner of Burton and
it's right there on Farnham. If you turn Burton runs this way, Farnham runs this way. It's the 3rd post down from that house. All up in that area is dark. You can take a ride over there and see if you want to. I can go with you. All right. Now, I want to get a clarification. I heard you say something to the treasurer. I heard you say something tonight that, okay, now I was under the impression that in 2021 we had to pay the state $3 million back.
No.
Okay. That's what I want to clarify because that's very important.
Yes.
Okay, in 2021 we got to pay them how much back?
It doesn't start in 2021. I'll get you the information, but we pay it back beginning with the fiscal year 2022, and it's $300,000 per year for 10 years. But I'll provide you with that specific.
You pay them you pay them, you start paying 200,000?
300,000.
300,000. 10 years?
It's for 10 years until the $3 million is repaid. But I will get you that information in writing. Yep.
All right, just want to say to everybody, I love Inkster. Been in Inkster all my life, and I really hope that we can come together. You know, we can feud with each other all day long, but we're not gonna get no work done. And one of the things that we need to do, nobody's bigger than nobody in this community, and we gotta learn to love one another and come together. You know, and just because your point of views and your issues don't work in the city doesn't mean that we're not gonna be able to move forward. You know, be considerate. You know, be considerate to listen to other people, because other people have great ideas too. It might be the solution to our problem. You know, so I just wanted to say that tonight, and I would hope that we can spread more love, because I tell you, we need it in this community. And I'm just saying, man, I love you, and I tell you, and I hope everybody else gets to love you. You're in this office, we need to help you move forward.
Yes.
Inkster is a great place to be.
Yes.
It just got some people who just need. You just want to take some of them to the end of the road. Get them out of here. God bless you. Thank you for listening to me.
All right, good. All right, just real quick on, and it's good to hear that there's actually an ordinance on the books as it relates to the cameras. So we definitely need to look at that and tweak that out a little bit. The chief of police and I, we've been meeting since I took office as it relates to, of course, safety is the number one priority in the city of Inkster. I don't think you can do anything unless you have safety and the perception of safety within your community. So we're rolling out a program and it's great. This is how God works. So the Inkster Spotlight program, and our first our first camera system will be placed at the Marathon gas station at Harrison Road and Michigan Avenue.
Harrison and Michigan Avenue?
Yes.
That's across the street, that gas station?
Yes. The owner has, he's going through, right now, he's going through the planning process with a number of things that he's doing to update his property. And I reached out to him over the weekend, and we identified him as, through the PD, as a place that actually could use surveillance cameras that'll be tied directly into our already existing monitoring system within the PD. We're just going to add a couple of more monitors, and we have people that's already there already, so it's not going to cost the city anything, and the actual cameras are not going to cost the city anything. We're going to see how it actually works, because we know that the city of Detroit has the green light program already, but I wanted to do something different within the city of Inkster, and we're calling it the Inkster Spotlight program. And it won't be a green light, because green means go. Red means stop, so we're going to do yellow light. Yellow means caution, safety, be careful, take your time. We're watching, you know. So we want to make sure that everyone knows what we're doing. And as it relates to the ordinance, I'm going to get with the city clerk, get with the building department, get with our attorney, and really look at that ordinance as it relates to the businesses that are currently here now and tying their business license to the cameras. Because we know we're in a small community, and when you look around our community, we have some challenges. And one of the major challenges is that, like Commissioner Brockett said earlier, that we have buildings that are just sitting vacant and have been sitting vacant for years. And we need to see what we can do to not only get those buildings occupied, but also to retain those businesses that are here and to attract new businesses into our community while upholding the laws and being as friendly as we possibly can to do good business in the city of Inkster. So we're working on it. That's all I had to say. You want to chime in on top of that? Go ahead.
I'd like to make a request.
Go ahead.
Maybe you might already talk with it, but the guy that owns the gas station on Middle Belt and Michigan Avenue.
What about Michigan?
He needs some light, yellow light, blue light, green light. So he needs a lot of.
All of them are coming online. Okay. So Fast Frank's is actually next. And then the Island Store Market Foods will be after that. The Valero gas station. Citgo gas station. So all of our, for the most part, all of our high traffic areas are they're already talking to me. I'm already talking to them and letting them know the importance of us having those surveillance cameras directly into the PD. And we want to make sure that we're rolling it out the right way so we have impact immediately. Okay. Closed session. Do we have any closed session items? All righty then. So a motion to go into closed session. So moved. Support. It's been moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? Ayes have it. Let's go into closed session, guys. We gotta go into closed session. So the meeting is not over. We gotta go into closed session.